Hope my screen's visible.
Yes, ma'am.
If Sridej is trying to say something, please help me with it. Or Sridej, if I can't hear you, please type in the chat box. Okay, so in last class, we saw about what a plane mirror is and what reflection is and how what mirrors have to do with reflection and all. Okay, so this whole chapter, what we're seeing is about light. And we know that the objects that has its own light are classified as luminous and non-luminous objects. So now let's talk about the sources of light. So how are we getting this light? So sources of light. So when we look at like a leaf, for example, okay, we know that it is green because what happens is in the green leaf, the light bounces. The light bounces. Okay, so light bounces off the leaves to reach our eyes. Okay, but what is this light that is actually bouncing? What is light? How would you describe that? So what are the sources of light? All that is what we are going to see. Okay, so light is nothing but it's called as a electromagnetic radiation. Light is an electromagnetic radiation. So electromagnetic radiation is also called EM radiation. Okay, so it is nothing but it is a form of energy that surrounds us everywhere. Obviously, it's light everywhere, it's there. So it's a form of energy that surrounds us everywhere, like from the microwave, you know, from our heat, no, when we heat our food. When you keep your hand above the food, how does it feel? Like on top, not exact touching the food, right above the food. Now here is the hot food. You're placing your hand here. How will you feel?
Heat.
You'll feel heat. Exactly. So you know that heat is being radiated over here. Similarly, light is something that you feel coming from everywhere. It's radiated from everywhere. Okay. So radio waves, they like, you know, when you're hearing music, how are you able to hear music? Because of the waves that travels through your ear. So because of the music, you're able to listen to all the sounds. So sound wave. Okay, so now I was seeing that what electromagnetic radiation is. So it is a form of energy that surrounds us everywhere. Okay, so a particular frequency of this radiation. So you cannot, so the speed, now for example, a car is moving like this. Just look at my laser. You can see my laser move, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see my laser move now? Yes. Now if I move it super fast like this, very fast in such a way you won't be able to see. You can only see here and here. You won't be able to see how fast I went. So similarly like that, there is only a particular amount of speed your eyes can visit. Okay, your eyes cannot see very tiny objects flying super fast in front of you. Only if they're big enough they can see. So similarly, only if they're going a bit slow you can see. If they're going very fast, you can't even see what color the car is. Okay, similarly, this speed is called frequency. Okay, so only a particular frequency is visible to your eyes. Okay, that is around 390 to 700 nanometers, which is also called NM. Okay, this is what is visible to the human eye. Okay, you cannot see more, you cannot see something smaller or faster than that. So light is a form of energy like all other energy. So it is produced from a source. Okay, so these types of sources, how are you getting light? From what source are you getting light? That's what we're going to see. So this source of light is, yes.
Ma'am, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Zetesh. Okay, this source of light is of two categories: natural source and artificial sources. Okay, natural source. Give me an example of natural source of light.
Ma'am, sun. Torch.
Artificial.
Torchlight. Light bulb.
Bulb or torchlight or candle or anything. Okay, so listen carefully. You know that the universe, the whole world around you is filled with objects that emit light. So some of light of these sources, they reach the earth. Okay, so like the sun, that is the major source of light. So it will reach the earth, and the sun, you know, it's like a massive ball of fire. Okay, so the center of which, so there is a sun over here. This sun is radiating high amount of heat and light. It's because in the center of the sun, there is heat, there's a core heat. Okay, this core heat is being produced because of nuclear fission. Okay, this nuclear fission is the one that's producing massive amount of heat and light. This energy is only being emitted as this. So the light from the sun is like one of the major factor why there is life on earth, right? Without light from the sun, life cannot exist on earth. So every other, like the stars, they all also produce light, but only a small or like very small amount of no light reaches the earth. Okay, so the earth is not receiving night light so much because of the star, it's because of the moon. Okay, so very little amount of light is being, we get it from the stars. Some living organisms, they also produce light. So it is like, have you seen in movies and all, in beaches there'll be blue light at night? Have you guys seen it? Anybody?
No, ma'am.
This is how it is in Maldives and Goa and all. In some places, beaches are like this at night. They turn blue. Okay, there's a light. Sorry?
Ma'am, the previous photo which you showed, it was like some baby jellyfish was there.
Yeah. So these images, you can see that the sea is blue in color. It's because it has tiny organisms in the water that emit light. You know, like firefly, no? Like that, they are organisms that emit light. So they have the ability to produce light. This is called bioluminescence.
Ma'am, do all oceans have this?
No, very few, very rarely. Only oceans that have this organism.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is like the effect of like some chemical reaction that is happening within the organisms, like fireflies, jellyfish. All these are examples of that organisms. Okay. So certain other natural phenomena also, like for example, volcano eruption. Volcano eruptions, you know that all the larva comes out, right? So this is because of the heat that is being held up inside. So that is also emitting light and heat. So these are natural sources of light. Coming to the artificial sources of light. Okay, so light can be produced artificially. So the light can be put into three different categories when it comes to artificial light. One is incandescent light. or incandescent source. Then you have luminescent source, and then you have gas discharge source. Incandescent source means when objects, they are heated like to a certain temperature, you know that, for example, you're taking a vessel, you're keeping it in the stove, you're heating it for more amount of time, like almost 10 hours or something. What color does the stuff turn into when it is hot?
Red.
Red, exactly. That is called incandescent. So when you're heating something to a high temperature and because of that it's emitting light, it's called incandescent. Okay, that's called incandescent. So both infrared light and visible light, all this is being produced in this process, like candle and all that. So a candle is an example of incandescent. Okay, now luminescent. Luminescent source means the light is being produced by charging the luminescent material. Okay, like the tube light and everything. So charging, so electricity. Okay. And then finally the third one. Gas discharge source means passing through electricity through a gas, a particular gas, like a neon lamp, fluorescent lamp. So you're passing it through a gas, you're passing electricity. So it's electricity. So it's charge plus gas. It's giving you light. Is this clear? Any doubts?
Can you give an example of gas
That's
discharge?
a neon bulb light. Everything that has neon in it, neon tube light, all that.
Luminescent.
Luminescent means you're charging it, torch light, normal torch light, bulb light. You're charging it and then you're getting the light from it. Lamp light. Incandescent means you're heating something and you're getting light. Candle, all that.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now going to how shadow is being formed. Okay. So you know that there is a shadow when you are walking. You can see a shadow being formed behind you. Sometimes it's like this. Sometimes it can be like this also, right? Or it can be behind you, right? So it can be in different directions, in different places. Okay. So transparent objects like glass and all, they glass sheet and water, they are objects that allow the light to pass through it. You know that opaque objects are solid that do not allow the light to pass through it. So shadow is something, it's like it's just a space or like a region where there is no light. Okay, because it is being blocked by an opaque object. Why the sun is behind you? A very weird sun.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, if any luminous object is beside us or anywhere, it will cast the shadow opposite to its side.
Yes, yes, okay. So here, light is being formed this side, okay? But your body is not allowing you to, pass the light through because you are an opaque object. Okay, because of that, shadow is being formed. So shadow is formed. So shadow is nothing but it's just a space or a region where there is no light Okay. So for example, like just consider like a sun to be the light source. So you're early when it's like early morning or like late afternoon, you can notice that the shadows are getting bigger and bigger. They're not small. But at noon, the sun is like right above your head and the shadow is very short. Okay. So you would notice that not only the direction is being changed, but also the size is being changed. So you notice that at the noon, like afternoon, the shadow formed is more like defined. Okay, it's more clear in nature than the morning shadow. Morning shadows are more like slightly blurred. Okay, this is because the light source is wider during the afternoon time. Light source is smaller during the morning time. So there is a difference between how you will walk in a particular area if the torchlight just puts light in this place and if the torchlight puts lights in this way. So there's a wider view. Similarly, there's a wider amount of sunlight passing through the earth during the afternoon, and that's why your shadow is more precise and clear. So light sources, they can either be in what do you say? They can be point or non-point in nature. Okay, point means when it forms a very simple shadow. Okay, but it's extended light shadow means then it's more divided. Okay, which is actually much more not required for your grade. Okay, so this much enough information is enough for y'all. Just note it down now. You have different types of shadow sources like umbra, penumbra, and also that you will learn it in next grade. So this much is enough for y'all. Please note it down and tell me when you're done. And drop all your doubts in the chat box. Okay. Okay. What topic is it, Deepika? You have your friend's exam. 11, 12, 13. Chapter 11, 12, 13. Which is, you can actually like tell it, use a speaker. Why are you not using your speaker? Okay, so you have share the notes page. Yeah, 1 minute, Ritesh. So you have food. Where does it come from? Components of food and fabric and fiber. Fabric and fiber. That's what you have. Okay, so what do you mean by lesson 1, 2, 3? What are the names of the chapters? Please drop it down. I'll check it later.
Ma'am, I think for us also they gave us this year chapters. Actually, in this year they removed some chapter from the book, so the chapters are different.
Okay. That's why I'm telling you it will be easier for me if you actually mention chapter names. Okay, rest of y'all, please note it down.
Ma'am, for me the chapters are like components of food and sorting materials.
Advika, you can tell it to me later. Please note it down and then you tell it to me later.
Ma'am, can you zoom it in a bit? Ma'am, does shadow come to translucent objects?
Ashwar, just put your doubts in the chat box. I'll clear it later. Okay. Okay. Anyways, so translucent objects, yes, they do give shadows, but in a very, very light form. It won't be like much visible to you because it's not like an opaque object, right? It's going to be very, very light because it's not blocking. So objects that block light is only going to give you a shadow. So objects that don't block light, that's basically like a cloud. A cloud is like a translucent object when it's foggy, but you still see very vaguely, foggy, and you'll see very little bit. So like that only how your shadow will also be very light. It will be okay.
Okay.
Deepika, are you there? Hello. One minute,
Ma'am,
guys.
you're audible.
Yeah. Deepika, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, my question was, what is concave and convex objects? You've just written two-line answers. So I want you to redo it. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. I'll do it.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
Ma'am, I think I sent you the concave and convex that homework.
Which number did you send me?
No, ma'am, in that group. Ma'am, you sent me a group too. In that, I should send in that group. I said.
Okay, let me check. Okay, Advika, got it.
Ma'am, this is Sritej. I'm done.
Okay. Sorry?
Ma'am, I completed.
Okay.
Ma'am, this is Sajjit. I'm done.
Okay.
Mom, this is Advika. I'm done.
Okay.
Ma'am, done, Aishwarya.
Okay. Do it quickly. Yes. Yes, someone called. Who else is left? All
Ma'am,
of you are
2
done?
minutes.
Yeah, okay, quickly.
Ma'am, what is the spelling of bio? Uh,
Bioluminescence. Bioluminescence. I'll write it again in a bigger font 1 minute. Who else is left? Only Ashwath? All of you are done. Who else is left? Anybody? Ashwath, how much more do you have?
Ma'am, I am in shadow.
Okay, quickly. Like, I want you to explain how does it function? Why is the light being coming? Okay, like that you need to find out using the internet and write your answer. Note on your homework. Tell me when you're done. You can leave the class. I don't want any excuse for those who didn't do any homework. No excuses. Send me the homework. Send it to me right away today.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am. Bye, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.